Welcome to GSM Live this Sunday afternoon. We're so glad you joined us today. Fifth grade friends, let's welcome them again. This is the second week that they have been able to join us with GSM Live. In the comments, in the chat, welcome our fifth grade friends again for another edition of GSM Live this Sunday. You are in the right place if you're here for GSM Live. This is going to be a fun experience. We're going to have a game, we're going to have a message from Riley, and we're going to have some time to worship with Jon Bemis. It's going to be a super fun time. At least I think so. Hopefully you think so as well. Now this is the last Sunday that we have GSM Live together.
Please, no! 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 No!
Which I know is super sad, but we have a super fun summer coming ahead. We're gonna have a lot of things going on, hopefully, and one of those things is GSM Middle School Camp. Make some noise for some middle school camp, people. Yeah, all right. And to kick off middle school camp, we are going to have a middle school camp themed game. So our game is gonna be based on camp. All right, are you ready? Let's get on to the game. All right, you know it was a game based on camp. So we're gonna do some camp trivia. Who knows their stuff about camp? We're gonna find out. We got 11 questions, and we're gonna see who can get the most questions right. What I'm gonna ask you to do is put the answer to the question in the chat. I'm gonna ask you a question, give you 4 options and multiple choice, and you put what you think the correct answer is in the chat. And we're gonna see who can get the most right. Make sure you keep track of how many you're getting right, and we'll see who gets the most right. Question number 1. When is camp this year? Is it A, June 5th through the 10th, B, May 24th through the 29th, C, June 29th through July 4th, or D, now? It's happening right now. What do you think it is, A, B, C, or D? Put your answer that you think is correct in the chat, and we'll see if you get it right. The correct answer, drum roll please, is C, June 29th. It is June 29th through July 4th. This year, it's gonna be super fun. Make sure you put it in your calendar. June 29th through July 4th. The correct answer was C. All right, number two, what is the camp hashtag? What is the camp hashtag? Is it A, hashtag greatness, B, hashtag greatest thing ever, C, hashtag summer, or D, hashtag best time of my life? What do you think it is, A, B, C, or D? Put it in the chat. I'll give you a couple seconds to see if you can put it in the chat correctly. The correct answer is B, hashtag greatest thing ever. So if you ever take any pictures at camp and want to post it on your Instagram, or your parents want to post it on Facebook, make sure you put the hashtag greatest thing ever, because that's what camp is. It is the greatest thing ever. All right, question number 3. Where does camp take place? Where does camp take place? Is it A, SpringHill, B, Hilly Springs, C, Camp Beautiful, or D, Alaska? Alaska. We talked about Alaska last week if you were tuned into the game last week. But the correct answer is, I'm going to give you a little less time for this one. It is A, SpringHill. We have camp at SpringHill Camps. It's a wonderful place full of wonderful people and wonderful things to do. It's a pretty good time. Hashtag greatest thing ever. All right, question number 4. What is the name of the camp that we went to before we started going to SpringHill? This is a little bit of a history question. We've talked about it some this year. Is it A, Camp Beautiful, B, Camp of the Churches, C, Camp Adventure, or D, Camp Explore? What do you think it is, A, B, C, or D? This is a bit of a history question, so maybe you like your history. Hopefully you do, so you get this question right. Is it A, B, C, or D? Put it in the chat. The correct answer is C, Camp Adventure. C, Camp Adventure was the camp that we went to before we started going to SpringHill. All right, back to SpringHill. Question number 5. What year was SpringHill founded? This is according to their website that I found this information. Is it A, 1969, B, 1872, C, 1980, or D, 2010? What do you think it is? A, B, C, or D? Throw the answer in the chat. I hope you get it right. I hope you all get all these right, so you're so knowledgeable about camp. The correct answer is A, 1969. A is the correct answer. All right, let's tally up your score so far. We're about halfway through. We've done 5 questions. Throw in the chat how many you've gotten right so far. Maybe you got 5 right. Maybe you got 4 right, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you haven't gotten any right, but that's okay. We still have more than half of the questions left, so you still have a chance to get a lot right. All right, question number 6. Question number 6. This is getting a little more personal with our GSM staff. Question number 6. What is Riley's favorite activity time at camp? What is his favorite activity time at camp? Man, words are hard. Is it A, the blob, B, canoeing, C, zip line, or D, paintball? What do you think it is? A, B, C, or D? What is Riley's favorite activity time at camp? Throw it in the chat. I'm going to give you a little more time because this is a little more personal. Might take. You can't Google this. You can't Google this. All right, the correct answer is, drum roll please, B, canoeing. B, canoeing. He loves the idea that you don't really know what you're getting yourself into when you're canoeing. Maybe you see a turtle, maybe you see something else when you're canoeing. It's a fun time. Canoeing is fun. So we're going to stay with activities at camp. Which of these is not an activity at camp? Is it A, the blob? Is the blob an activity at camp, really? Is it B, worship? Is worship really something we do at camp? Is it C, math homework? Do we do math homework at camp? Or is it D, zip line? Do they even have a zip line up in northern Michigan? Put what you think is not an activity at camp, not something that we do at camp, in the chat. Let's see if you get it right. The correct answer is C, math homework. We do not require you to do math homework when you are at camp. So yeah. All right, number 8. Number 8, another personal question to the GSM staff. How many GSM camps has Greer been to? How many GSM middle school camps has Greer been to? Is it A, 7, B, 10, C, 5, or D, 1? Last year was her first year. What do you think it is? A, B, C, or D? Throw it in the chat. Let's see if you get it correct. The correct answer is A, 7. This upcoming summer is going to be Greer's 8th year, so she's been to 7 GSM middle school camps so far. Give her a round of applause. Well done, Greer. All right, number 9. Number 9. This is a proven fact. What mealtime serves the best food at camp? Is it A, breakfast, B, lunch, C, dinner, or D, all of the above? What do you think it is? Throw it in the chat. What mealtime serves the best food at camp? The correct answer is D, all of the above. All the food at camp is literally amazing. It's so good. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, number 10. Number 10 is another personal question. We only got 2 more left. We got 2 more questions left. This one is number 10, then we have number 11, then we're done with the game. So let's see if you can get these next 2 right. Number 10, how many guitars does Jon Bemis bring to camp? How many guitars does Jon Bemis bring to camp? Is it A, 7, B, 3, C, 1, or D, 5? What do you think the correct answer is? A, B, C, or D? He does so well on the guitar, so maybe you think he brings 100, but that's not one of the options, so don't put 100. The correct answer is B, 3. Jon Bemis brings 3 guitars to camp and plays them all very, very well. All right, last but certainly not least question, number 11. This one is personal to me because it's about me. What year did I first go to middle school camp as a middle schooler? What year did I first go to middle school camp as a middle schooler? That's right, I went to GSM middle school camp as a middle schooler. It's pretty crazy, I know, right? All right, A, was it in 1995? A, 1995. B, 2000, C, 2008, or D, 2019? I might have opted out of that last option by saying it was when I was in middle school, but it's okay. We're going to move on anyway. All right, drum roll please. This is the last question. The correct answer is C. 2008 was the first year I went to middle school camp. That was back when it was at Camp Adventure, not SpringHill. It was a fun time there. All right, so you had 11 questions. That means you had 11 opportunities to get those questions right. Throw in the chat how many you've gotten right. Maybe you got 11 right. Maybe you got 7. Maybe you got 4. I don't know. Throw it in the chat so we can know. And we're just going to all celebrate however many you did get right. Because camp is coming, people, this summer. Remember the dates. Remember the dates, June 29th through July 4th. It's going to be awesome. It's the greatest thing ever. But for now, we're going to send it over to Riley for a bit of message time. And I'll see you guys later.
Hello. I want you for just a second to maybe think about something that either when you experience it or when you hear about it or when you see it, it kind of makes you a little upset. It might maybe like break your heart if you've heard of that phrase before. Maybe you can't exactly explain it, but you see it happen and it just doesn't feel right and you wish it was different, right? This happens to me sometimes if I'm watching a TV show or a movie. And specifically when I see one of the characters within a movie or a TV show that's getting picked on or being bullied. Because oftentimes the bully is just making fun of maybe who that person is, right? And so when I see that happen, within media, within a movie like that, it's hard for me to watch because my heart just breaks for that person. Another thing on a little bit of a bigger scale is when I maybe read an article or two about some of the rainforests that are just being absolutely chopped down like crazy. And then I start to think about all the animals that are losing their homes and what it's doing to the environment, right? And I think of that and it just breaks my heart because there's so much beauty within the rainforest. So think about for a second, what kind of breaks your heart? What's something that you see and you think, I wish that was different. I wish that could be changed. Because that's where we are going for this time. Now, we've been spending this time within the Lifelines series talking about, friendships. And we've looked at a couple of different events from Jesus' life and how he treated the people around him. Well, we're going to continue that today. And the thing is Jesus is familiar with things that break his heart. Right? Jesus came to earth to right some of the wrongs that had been happening. To right some of the wrongs that were breaking his heart. And we see this, we actually, hear him talk about this when we look at the Gospel of Luke. And gospel just simply means good news, right? And there's this instance at the beginning of Luke where Jesus goes back to the town that he was raised in, Nazareth. And so he's there, and it's the Sabbath, which means it was a day where the Jewish people didn't do anything. They didn't work. They spent time with family. They maybe went to a common place to hear Scripture read out loud. And so we see that Jesus goes to this common place. It was called the synagogue. And he stands up, because Jesus was a teacher. He was a rabbi. And he grabs one of the scrolls that held Scripture, And this is what he reads to a crowd of people. He says this in Luke 4, and it's verses 18 to 19. "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recover the sight for the blind, and to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Now here's the thing. Jesus was reading a scroll from the prophet Isaiah. You might have recognized the name Isaiah because we have a book of it in the Old Testament of the story and writings of this prophet. And you see, Jesus is reading these words because he's saying, listen, what I'm reading right now, that's why I'm here. This is what I have come to do. I have come to give good news to the poor. I've been sent here to proclaim freedom for prisoners, to recover the sight for the blind. He's saying, listen, this is what I'm doing. Right? And what's recorded after this is incredible. It says that Jesus rolls up the scroll. It says that he gives it back to the attendant, this person who would have, kind of been in the position of providing the scrolls to the teachers and that kind of thing, keeping everything organized. And he sits down. And Luke writes that the eyes of everyone in that place, in the synagogue, were fastened on Jesus. And he says to them, today, this scripture, the one that he had just read, is fulfilled. Again, saying, this is what I'm here for. To right the wrongs of the things that break my heart. Now, it's an incredible event that takes place. Now, here's the thing. Jesus does that while he is on earth. And he calls people to follow him. He calls people to join with him. And we know of 12 as the 12 disciples. The people that were following closely with Jesus during his ministry time. During this time where he was proclaiming the good news. Where he was, in some instances, literally providing sight to the blind. And in some instances, providing sight to the spiritually blind. These 12 were his friends, and we're going to look at, okay, how did this group of friends change the world as we think about this idea that godly friendships can change the world? To do that, we're going to actually jump ahead a little bit in the timeline to the book of Acts. Now, the book of Acts is this book that kind of writes down the events of what happened after Jesus left earth. After Jesus leaves earth and leaves these disciples and his friends to continue that purpose, to continue the mission. And we can learn a lot from how these friends lived. As we think about, again, how can godly friendships change the world? Now, see, through Jesus, we can be united not only with God in heaven, but also with God's purposes on earth. And we can learn that by what was passed on to these 12. Okay? We're going to read Acts 2, and it's verses 42 to 47. And this is telling how this group of people lived. Okay, so I'm going to read it real quick. And it says this. They, the believers, the people that were following Jesus, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teachings. And to fellowship. And to breaking of bread. And to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at many wonders and signs performed by the apostles, by the disciples. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Now see, after Jesus had left earth, he left his friends with a mission. The mission that the friends were taking on was to continue the work that Jesus had been doing. Or in terms of this series, the friends he left behind came together to be lifelines for each other as they changed the world in Jesus' name. They stuck together. And none of them had needs. They helped one another. They sacrificed for each other. Now, through this entire series, we've been talking about within godly friendships, what? We have the chance to be real. We have the chance to grow. We might have a group that won't leave you alone. And today, godly friendships can change the world. Now, this group of friends that Jesus left on earth, they did a couple things. Not only did Peter and John, they went around and they did miracles. They did incredible things here and there, but they also provided a different way of living. A different way of living in friendship. What did they do? They shared everything. They didn't hold back. They got creative. They got together regularly. They ate meals together. That's like one of my favorite things, is to eat food with my friends and with family. They thanked God together. And they gave Jesus credit all along the way. So, if godly friendships can change the world like this group of friends that we're reading about absolutely changed the world with the help of Jesus, then what do we do about all those broken things that I was talking about earlier, right? For me, it's bullying. When I see someone bullied, it just breaks my heart. Or when I see the devastation that happens to forests, to rainforests, it breaks my heart. So how do we take our friendships to the world-changing level? What do we do? Well, now, some of the things that we might think of that break our heart just seems like there's no way we could help. Like, how am I, one person, going to stop what's happening in the rainforest? Right? Well, what if we start with thinking about what is broken around us? Thinking about that first question. So what is? Taking a inventory of our heart. What breaks our heart? The second question to think about when we're thinking about godly friendships is, who else has noticed what I've noticed? Who else has the same breaking of the heart that I have, that cares about that issue? Who else cares about bullying? Who else cares about the rainforest? And then the third question, how can we work together to fix what's broken? Now, like I was talking about, some of the things that break our heart might not be able to fix tomorrow. Sometimes it takes a lot of work and it takes help from other people, but oftentimes some of the things that break our heart can be helped along by simply raising awareness, by talking about it, by bringing it to light. That can be a great, great step. So thinking through those three questions, what is broken around? Who else noticed what you noticed? And then how can you work together to fix what is broken? Now, this is the last thing. In the past month, we have discovered that friendships can be a powerful lifeline. They can be a lifeline for you when you need it. And you can be a lifeline to others when they need it. And we've also discovered that friendships is a chance for you to be a lifeline, right, to someone else. But in these godly friendships, I want you to remember that there is a power within these godly friendships that can be a lifeline for the whole world. And as I think about you all as world changers, that makes me so excited for today. It makes me so excited for tomorrow. It makes me so excited for 5 years from now. Hold on to the godly friendships that you have. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time and this opportunity to gather together online. Thank you so much for the leaders that love and care about us and through quarantine have still been checking in and making sure that we are okay. God, I pray that over this next week that maybe you might open our eyes to some of the things that might break our heart. And then give us a spirit to step into it. And to know that with you, with us, we could change the world. In your name. God, we love you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
I give you glory for all you've brought me through. Now I'm ready for whatever you want to do. I'm moving forward to follow after you. Now I'm ready for whatever you want to do. Your presence is an open door. We want you, Lord, like never before. Your presence is an open door. So come now, Lord, like never before. In every season, your grace has been enough. And I'm believing the best is yet to come. The cross before me, my hope on things above. And in you, Jesus, the best is yet to come. Your presence is an open door. We want you, Lord, like never before. Your presence is an open door. So come now, Lord, like never before. And I know breakthrough is coming. By faith, I see a miracle. My God made me a promise and He won't stop now. And I know breakthrough is coming. By faith I see a miracle. My God made me a promise and He won't stop now. And I know breakthrough is coming. By faith I see a miracle. My God made me a promise and He won't stop now. And I know breakthrough is coming. By faith I see a miracle. My God made me a promise and He won't stop now. Your presence is an open door. We want You, Lord, like never before. Your presence is an open door. So come now, Lord, like never before.
Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday. This was our last GSM Live Sunday of the school year. So before we get into announcements and stuff like that, let's take some time and appreciate all of our volunteers that made this year possible. Our worship and tech volunteers, our guest services volunteers, setup crew, all those volunteers, and especially let's thank our small group leaders that were taking out so much time out of their weeks just to come hang out and spend time with you all. So in the comments, in the chat, say thank you to the leaders, say thank you to the volunteers. If you know some of the volunteers by name, give them a shout out. I mean, they are so incredible. They made my job so easy. I had the blessing of serving alongside them throughout this year, and let me tell you, these are some of the best volunteers in the world, and I'm not just saying that. So be sure in the chat, thank some people. You guys are awesome. All of our volunteers, our small group leaders, thank you guys so much for helping me so much. All right, now to some announcements. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Be sure to go on Facebook, or your parents go on Facebook and like our Granger Student Ministries Facebook page. Be sure to go on Instagram, follow us, because we're gonna have a lot of stuff throughout the summer on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram. So if you want to stay up to date with all things GSM, be sure to do that, or have your parents do that. Next thing is, if you need prayer, or if you just want to have questions about GSM, or just want to chat, be sure to text this GSM hotline. It's completely anonymous, but be sure to text it so we can, as a GSM team, pray for you or reach out to you and connect that way. Our next announcement, actually I'm going to call someone else up. I'm going to call Mr. Riley Vandevoorty up to talk about our next one.
Hey, would you like some donuts?
No, thank you.
Jeez. We'll just yeeted those off the thing. Hey, we got some stuff happening in June. And because, Ryan, like you mentioned, this is the last GSM Live for this school year. It's a sad thing. That's why I brought donuts, so we could eat our feelings. Because it is a sad Sunday, because it's the last one. But we have stuff coming up in June. We are going to take the next couple of weeks off, spend some time with friends and family, make sure that, social distancing, all of that good stuff, safety precautions. But coming up in June, we are going to have some opportunities for connection. Connection still online, but connection nonetheless. And so on Mondays, specifically June 1st and the 15th at noon, 12 o'clock, about lunchtime. Ooh, we could have lunch on Zoom. June 1st and 15th at noon, the GSM staff is going to jump on to Zoom, and listen, we're just going to play some games, have some fun. We're not going to jump into small groups or that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll play some games, have some giveaways. 5th graders, you are welcome to join us. And we will be using the same Zoom link that we have been for small groups for those 2 times at noon on Monday, June 1st and June 15th as well. And then also throughout June on Wednesday nights at 7, we'll have some sort of content on YouTube. It might be worship, it might be a devotional thought, it might just be some silly, fun games, bits, whatever we can think of. It might be how many dozens of donuts can Ryan eat within 10 minutes?
13.
Okay, 13 dozen. That's a lot. It might happen. All right, so throughout June, on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, you can make sure to join us on YouTube for some sort of content. But yeah, like Ryan said, follow up on all social media channels for updates, stay updated with that. Ryan, what are we doing next?
Yeah, so after this, immediately after this, like right now, we are hopping onto Zoom for our last Zoom small groups of the school year. So be sure to go to your parents' email or your email to get the Zoom link. If you don't have the Zoom link, reach out to us, gsm@grangerchurch.com, so we can send you that link and you can join Zoom small groups that way, the last one of the school year. Anything else for us, Riley?
No, if you want a donut, here, just take a donut. You can just take it.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, take 2.